Isaac Yap, once again, the third man in the ring. One of the most consistent referees you'll see in Asian MMA today. And look for Garie Tang to go for a takedown.
Why, Garie Tang's got the sweet ground game, huh?
Yeah, Garie Tang is actually part of the national wrestling team.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. Again, I love these national wrestlers. What's not going to help him right now is, again, the ring. If he goes for those shots, he's going to be brought to the middle. So that's, again, where the cage plays into this whole...
And Garie Tang basically put on a wrestling showcase in his professional debut back in June against Nicholas Lee. So can definitely look for Garie Tang to shoot for a takedown. Bagtian looking to clinch. Very nice knee from Garie Tang. Bagtian returns with one. Another knee from Garie Tang. Returned once again by Bagtian. Goes for another.
This is some good, fantastic Muay Thai underhooks going on. They're actually going for the plum, and he goes for the hip top, and he gets it. They go into a scramble, and they're back on their feet, and that scramble has ended in them in the corner.
That scramble basically allows Garie Tang to land inside control. And now the referee's... And the referee is just going to position them in the middle once again. Garie Tang going to work.
Garie Tang, as you said, again, part of the national wrestling team, so he should be able to control this position. He's in side guard. The guy's obviously hooking up his arm, but he decides to put it around. And we'll see whether or not he wants to go for submissions and keep you... Great leg action right there, great hip action. He's keeping him down with those hips, and that's what we like to actually see. It depends on whether or not he's going to drop bombs or try to drop elbows, or once again, if he wants, he can bring that knee up and over the gut and go for the mount position.
Once again, this is a professional fight. Unified MMA rules, elbows are allowed, and his corner is basically calling for it.
I would be too. Again, he's content to go back to the guard, and maybe he wants to actually test his skills, which is lovely. They are back to the standing position, and Garie Tang, again, backing off and controlling that center. Maybe willing to accept the kick to the head there as well.
Bagtian landed a very nice kick down there. Of course, Bagtian's base is Muay Thai, so you can expect a lot of knees, a lot of kicks from Bagtian's end.
You also saw Fritz, though, right there, once again, get a smile when he took the jab.
He went for a front kick, caught by Garie Tang, who's trying to look for a single. He gets it. Bagtian looking to go to work with some elbows, but Garie Tang nullifies that.
Yep. Again, I like to see the elbows from this position when you're on the bottom. When you're on the bottom, and if you don't know submissions and you're technically just a striker, obviously he comes from a Muay Thai camp, those elbows, especially those short elbows to the side of the head, those can cut, man. And they are back to their feet.
In terms of Garie Tang's point of view, because there isn't much video, obviously, footage of Fritz Bagtian, would have been harder for him to prepare for this fight as opposed to Fritz, where you can see plenty of videos of Garie Tang on YouTube. So I think Fritz might be...
Are those videos mostly of the wrestling persuasion, though?
Yeah, I think it's more MMA fights, because Garie Tang has almost 3 amateur MMA fights, and I think all of them are on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I like, again, Fritz is... you know, he's got that Muay Thai stance. He looks to be putting even weight distribution between his legs, which you don't obviously see a lot in MMA. Good reason. If you put most of that weight on the left, you get off balance.
He went in for a slobber knocker of a kick. He totally missed it. Garie Tang now going to work with combinations. He landed a knee there, goes for another. Bagtian returns with one. Elbows from both ends.
You know why I do this? For this exact reason, to have the best seats in the house. This is why I love mixed martial arts. Being here on the side, we get to
another head kick from Bagtian. He's relentless on his head kicks.
And look at him, he's almost smiling again. He's
very confident in his striking skills, obviously.
I like the bounce that he has. He's got a little pep in his step, if you will. And,
very nice lean back.
Again, with that pep.
Well, Garie Tang shot for a takedown.
He didn't eat the knee.
Yeah, he didn't eat it.
He did not eat the knee. He went for the shot. Fritz threw the knee, and now he's on the ground.
Well, on Fritz's spot, it almost connected.
And if he had,
Garie Tang may not be lucky next time out, so you better be careful of those knees by Fritz. Fritz definitely has been threatening with those along with those head kicks.
And what's beautiful about it is, again, we are most like
very nice
fantastic
sweep.
block.
Very nice sweep. Oh, but that's the end of the first round.
Round one, ladies and gentlemen.
Fritz showing that he's no pushover on the canvas, and he's pretty much handling himself really well against Garie Tang right now, who entered this bout as a heavy favorite. But let's not forget, Fritz has been threatening with those knees. He's been threatening with those leg kicks as well.
Correct.
He's been looking really solid in the stand-up department. He just has to be wary about Garie Tang's takedowns.
Which, again, he doesn't really seem to be too worried about the guys wrestling. I think we all think that Fritz wants to keep it standing. That is where he's rocking those head kicks. That's where he's rocking the...
He wants to work on his strengths.
Exactly. His teeps, though, aren't even teeps. They're actually going towards the face. He's not, like, trying to land those in the abdomen and try to maybe hit a liver, maybe hit an under rib. But you can see, again, look at the way he's holding his hands. I like the elbows up.
That's a classic Muay Thai stance and a sinister smile on Fritz's face. He's enjoying this.
Of course he is. Why wouldn't he enjoy it? It's his moment right now. That's the beauty of fighting. Again, that's why I'm in this as well. It's because you gotta understand, when you're in there, it's better than parachuting, better than skydiving, better than, I'm not gonna go far as to say this. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
it ain't better than body slapping, if you will. Yeah, I said that. But.
Well, Fritz is making sure Garie Tang has his work cut out for him tonight.
And if that kick right there was just a little bit lower, it would have been straight on the dome.
Very nice combination from Fritz. Went for it. Both fighters now exchanging knees in the clinch. But do you think it's wise for Garie Tang to clinch with Fritz, knowing that his opponent has that classic Muay Thai background?
Well, you're again saying that he's on the national wrestling team. Sometimes if you have that clinch into play and you can power that neck, man, when you're cranking that thing, even if you're not landing the knees, the exhaustion that comes into play, another raised knee, and another takedown.
Very nicely done from Garie Tang. Timed that to perfection. Royston Wee, of course, UFC fighter, calling for the crossface.
Yeah, Mr. Wee does a fantastic job of cornering, by the way. He's coming out with all the proper sayings, the proper notions. He wants to guide his fighter in the right direction, and that is to the win.
Well, Fritz's mouthpiece falls out. He apologizes to the referee, but they continue.
I love those quirky little moments.
Gets into full mount, Garie Tang. He makes it look so easy.
And now we'll see where Fritz is at in terms of being on his back. We saw it before. He's still, again, he knows what to do. He's putting his 2 feet down, and generally, again, he went for the omoplata before. Let's see what he goes for. Monkey. Went for the monkey.
Oh, he tried to go for the sweep again, but this time he gave up his back. And Garie Tang is trying to get that arm in under his neck. He's got both hooks in.
Got both hooks in, looking to get that glove underneath the chin, looking to sprawl him out, looking to spread him out, and he's back into full mount.
How impressed are you with Fritz's defense, considering he's a Muay Thai fighter?
Again, you know, Garie Tang is obviously probably winning this fight right now, but I'm actually more impressed by the guy on the bottom, because from a Muay Thai background, he is getting out and doing the thing that he needs to be doing. You're in the mount right now, brother. You know, he's in the mount right now. He's full mounted. He once again tried to go for it. Garie Tang has had too much body-on-body action to let it get away with it.
Oh, very nice sweep. Excellent sweep from Fritz Bagtian. He's now on top.
And the referee will bring it back to the center of the ring.
That's right, John Nutt. As the referee brings it back to the middle of the ring, this is now Fritz's chance to land some heavy bombs in top position. Looking to make Garie Tang pay. And he backed out of it. I think he clearly wants this to be a stand-up battle. He doesn't want anything to do with Garie Tang on the canvas. Goes for the head kick again. Fritz, of course, as you can see, has the reach advantage. Very nice knee.
Are they speaking Mandarin over here? They're speaking Mandarin, which again, international. All about the international here in Singapore.
Well, it makes it difficult for Fritz to figure out what his corner is trying to tell Garie to do. So
again, we had Will Chope in the other corner yelling out the moves that the opponent was looking for, not his fighter.
That's because he knows English.
Exactly. We work in code here, and our code is called Mandarin.
Nice kick from Fritz. Garie though ate that.
Both of these guys seem very well conditioned. We're in the second round, and they do not seem tired. No mouths closed. Again, you even heard Fritz apologize to the referee when he was in possession. And, just a little
Only
bit.
just.
Again, you got to, on a comfort and stand-up note, I agree with you. On a comfort and stand-up note, Fritz could be taking it. On an overall fight note, we've seen equal time standing to grappling, and, you know, he's doing his thing. Red corner's getting it done.
Let's not forget, this is a strawweight contest at 115 pounds. Garie Tang's first fight was at flyweight.
See, I love that. He stepped forward, and Fritz caught him with the leg kick at the same time, causing Mr. Tang to obviously fall.
Well, Fritz obviously trying to put on a kicking clinic right here, and I think he's doing a damn good job at that. Another leg kick by Fritz.
Fritz again smiling. Fritz again smiling when he lands that leg kick, and then he comes with the two shots. Again, punches and bunches and combos are what win in MMA.
Garie Tang's corner advising Garie not to bang, not to stand and bang with his opponent.
Do you speak Mandarin? Fantastic.
But I recognize the word combos, so I'm guessing that's what they're telling Garie Tang to do.
Part of the
Throw
code
more
that you were on top of,
combos.
huh? It's not all code, is it, when they yell that?
But there's some words you can't use in Mandarin.
I personally think Garie Tang, though, is weary of that leg kick. Maybe he's trading it right there. That's fantastic, but I do think he's still weary of it.
Tang shoots for the takedown, and he gets it on the ground as well. Once again, Garie Tang gets it on the ground. Fritz was looking for that reversal, and he gets it. Man, that was really unexpected. Garie Tang goes for the armbar, doesn't get it.
Now again, we got no head kicks here. We got no soccer kicks.
Another hard leg
lay
kick.
those legs. Lay that lumber.
Man, I don't know how much Garie Tang's legs are gonna hurt after tonight. This time Fritz catches Garie Tang's leg. Garie Tang shot for a takedown, stopped by Fritz. They both trade knees.
And they're both back up into more action. Maybe now you can start seeing that the fatigue is set in a little bit.
Both fighters definitely have slowed down just a little bit as opposed to the first and second rounds. Once again, another kick caught by Fritz. Fritz doing a really good job here on the stand-up department. I'm surprised Garie doesn't want to shoot more.
Yeah, so am I. I'm surprised
He was
that right
having
now,
a lot of success, yeah.
So am I. I'm surprised that right now he's not like really trying to score those points and just get it down. I mean, we're in the third round. You don't want it to go to a judge's decision, so you want to stick with what you're good at, what your strong points are. Fritz is obviously going to stay here and do his thing. I like how every time Fritz catches it, he throws the overhand right at the same time.
Classic Muay Thai where to catch the kick and counter with the straight right.
Don't let it go to the judges, fellas.
Fritz with another right kick. Garie Tang returns with one. Fritz has slowed down considerably here. Now Tang with a straight right. Another leg kick by Fritz.
Make some noise, ladies and gentlemen. Let's help him out.
But considering this is Fritz's first fight, he looks really comfortable.
For sure, for sure.
I think he might have had a couple of Muay Thai fights before, but in MMA, he looks really comfortable out there.
And the haymakers come.
They're fighting to the finisher. Who's gonna finish the strongest? Very nice straight right. And a nice leg kick by Fritz. Trying to end this fight on a high note.
Yep, Garie Tang looks at, he's taking the shots and he's smiling, he's waving them off, but remember those are points. And now Now he goes for the shot.
Goes for the takedown. Tang, desperate to get that single.
Right now is where if those soccer kicks come into play, he's stuffing it. He is getting the job stuffed.
Very nice from Garie Tang. Transitions beautifully to Fritz's back. And what a fight this is turning into. 10 seconds remaining. Can Garie cinch in that choke? Can he get that victory?
He's almost got his back. He's got the hooks in.
And that's it. A standing ovation from the crowd. Pandemonium basically for both fighters. Garie Tang and Fritz Bagtian putting on one hell of a strawweight showcase. Fritz Bagtian, very impressive with his Muay Thai skills, but it was Garie Tang's wrestling which might have cancelled out Fritz's Muay Thai today. I don't know. Look at Fritz, he's doing a couple of push-ups. Unbelievable. And Garie Tang does push-ups as well. Really, really great stuff from both fighters. And I'm really intrigued to see how the judges scored this one. Obviously, Garie Tang, for the duration of the 15 minutes he had, the takedowns, and he had a better control on the canvas, but on the feet it was one-way traffic. Fritz's kicks, knees, those are basically the story of this fight. Garie Tang did have his moments, but Fritz was just ultra dominant in the stand-up department. And as I mentioned just before the fight, this is classic striker versus grappler fight, and John Nutt has the official decision. And the decision goes to Fritz Bagtian. Wow. Garie Tang is shell-shocked, he can't believe it. But I guess the judges were looking at the striking aspect of the fight, because Fritz Bagtian was clearly the better striker for the duration of the fight. And Garie Tang obviously looking very disappointed with the decision. He thought he had it in the bag because of his wrestling and his top control, but Fritz Bagtian upsetting the odds, coming into Garie Tang's backyard in Singapore and getting an all-important victory. Fritz Bagtian with what I would call the first upset of the night. And a standing ovation basically from the Singaporean crowd for Fritz Bagtian, because honestly that was one hell of a fight.